Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Mandy, and I want to make something that popped in my head when I was making an ornament in these colors, and I call this my Winter Wonderland vase. So I've already off camera coated the inside of this glass vase with polyacrylic, and I let the excess drain out. You can use any kind of varnish, like that's clear. I'm going to use wild blueberry and Milky Way and interference green. I would use my interference green from Colourarte, but I have this other color and I don't want to run out of my Colourarte one. I figured I'd use this one. So that one's from Woody's Goodies. So don't forget, I have discount links in the description box below. This is Milky Way. Colourarte is 20% off using Mandy1120. I also have one for Woody's Goodies in there. So don't forget to check that. I always forget to tell people that. So this Milky Way is magical. And I'm putting it in first because it's a large particulate and I want it to show. So I'm tapping it in a little at a time, but look how magical it is. So as I kind of add it in, I am going to tap it around, but I'm kind of deliberately putting it in some places because I want it to kind of show on its own a little bit. Now, if I was using a longer popsicle stick, that would probably be smart, but I'm not. So I'm just angling so I can get it in there. As you tap it, you want to use the meaty part of your hand, obviously not your bone. It is glass. But I love, and if you might have seen a previous video where I said I love blue and white at Christmas time. I think like it's just very wintry to me. I'm in Texas, so we don't see snow very often, but to me, it just makes you think of like a winter scene. I don't know why. So anyway, I was pondering that, and I thought using the wild blueberry and the Milky Way would make a gorgeous vase, made a gorgeous ornament, and then we use the interference green to kind of fill in. So that's what we're doing here. And honestly, I think it turns out really beautiful. So if you're tired of these, I'm sorry. I'm probably not going to be over it for a while. And this is all I've had time to do. So I'm hoping after this next week that I'll get to paint a little. I had some resin projects I wanted to try for Christmas gifts, and I don't know that I'm going to be able to do that either. So here it is, right? 'Tis the season to make sparkly ornaments and vases. So now we're adding some of the wild blueberry. I'm trying to be pretty intentional about making sure I have enough up toward the rim, because sometimes it looks like it's naked at the top when it's not really naked, when there's not color up there. So that's kind of what I'm doing, is putting it up there and then letting some of the excess fall into the vase. So far it's looking really cute. I had to zoom you out a little bit. I realized I was all up in your face. So yeah, I love doing these. And if you've missed some of my previous videos, the way that I seal the inside to make sure that they're waterproof is I essentially, I learned this from Erica from Artist Till Death. I roll resin around it. I start off at the top edge and I pour resin around until it coats the whole vase. And I keep rolling it around. It's a very lengthy process, which is why when I sell these vases, I sell them for, more than I would like a paint poured vase, because the process to get the resin to fully coat usually takes a couple of coats, but then it's waterproof on the inside. Sometimes I will take, and I failed to mention this in some previous videos, sometimes I will take a clear spray and very gently spray the inside to kind of hold the pigment in place so that when the resin goes in, the weight of the resin doesn't pull the pigment off. So I did that the first time and it worked very well. I used, I don't know, any kind of a clear spray. I have various ones I have around here for when I've done stuff with like water slide and that kind of stuff on tumblers. So I just used one of them and sprayed it and let it dry before I put the resin in. So you have to be careful, obviously, because you don't want to spray the outside of the vase, but if you do, you can just clean it off with alcohol. But if you spray the inside very gently, because you don't want to hit it with the force of that aerosol, So, you know, just enough to kind of give you some staying power. But look how pretty this is turning out. Isn't that gorgeous? I mean, who doesn't think that's pretty? Super pretty. So the interference green you'll find is really just kind of a filler. It is going to show, kind of reflect that interference green shift. But primarily I wanted the blue and the white of the Milky Way. And it's going exactly how I thought it would. So, loving it. The other interesting thing is the Milky Way is a bling it color. It's not a primary element. So the way primary element activates color and all that, this is straight mica. So it's not going to be as impactful as if I had used like a white, well, I guess there really isn't a white primary element, right? Because white is just white. But it's not going to interact as much as if I had used two different primary element colors, because the primary element is the wild blueberry. So the wild blueberry, though, does interact with the Milky Way by kind of bleeding into it when it hits the water, and so, or the water of the polyacrylic. So you get some places that look almost like they're like a frosty blue. So that's really cool. And the video just doesn't do it justice. It's so pretty and sparkly, and it's just a happy little vase. So this one will probably be in our Etsy shop once I get the inside resined. But I love making these. And this is, I've had a lot of clear vases on my shelf just kind of waiting for their destiny. So this is a great time of year for me, since I'm already in the mood to decorate everything on the inside. It's a good time to go ahead and just decorate some vases and get them in their new destination of someone else's home, hopefully. So anyway, now I'm just kind of filling in where we still need some color. And then we'll add the interference green. Even the inside's pretty. It's just a beautiful, beautiful vase. So I hope that you guys are not bored with these. They have been so much fun for me. And I'm way behind. I did this like a week ago already. Sorry, I'm probably making you guys dizzy. So I'm tapping it. And now we're going to fill it in. There's a couple places I'm pointing to that still need coverage. So I'm going to target them with the wild blueberry. Now, if for some reason you target them and you're still not getting coverage, it could just be that you've lost some of your moisture. So you can try a metallic or an interference color, and if you still don't get any color, you can just add like a tiny drop in that area of the polyacrylic or the varnish. Not too much, just enough to moisten it. All right, so we're getting some coverage in those spots, and at this point I realize I probably just need to use the interference green and see how far I get. And so I'm going to go ahead and start adding it in. I'm going to focus in that one spot to get the coverage where I need it. And then if I need to moisten it and maybe add some wild blueberry or something, I could easily just put a dab of moisture there and make that up. But sorry for the background noise, I'm in my car. So now I've noticed toward the top, if you need some coverage, once you've kind of got a good base layer, you can gently pat that with your finger to make sure you get some thorough coverage on the top. You just have to be careful to not do it when it's really wet in the beginning. So it's coming together, almost done, and then I'll show you a close-up. I realize from your point of view it's just a lot of whacking, and but you know, nice finished product. You can start to see, if I'll be still, where the Milky Way and the wild blueberry are sort of mixing and creating this really beautiful shimmery blue. So it's exciting. I think this is just a really beautiful vase. I love the way it turns out. It kind of makes me want to like mix up some Milky Way for blooms and wild blueberry and make a bloom of these colors, but I have too much paint already mixed up. So you can see it's coming together. We're about done. Just need a little bit more of the interference green. I find that the most difficult places to cover are usually the places where it curves down from the neck of the vase. That's where it seems to be a little bit more difficult. But that's okay, it just takes a little time. All right, just a little bit more interference green. We're gonna pat that guy around there, make everybody dizzy. And then I'll show you the beautiful results. But look how pretty it is. You can see, I know I'm moving it all around, but you can see where the Milky Way shines through that blueberry. Oh, it's so pretty. So yeah, do you agree? Is it a winter wonderland? Thank you for enduring with me and letting me make you dizzy for 10 minutes. Anyway, I hope you really like it. I think she's so pretty. Anyway, let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.